Hey, it's Andrew here. I've been an amateur wildlife photographer for about the past year, and you can check out some of my original content in the description below. But today I wanted to take a moment in front of the camera to talk about birds, and in particular, bird names. And I know, to be completely fair, there are much better things I could be talking about right now. I mean, as I'm filming this in Vancouver outside, there is a literal hail of wildfire smoke hanging over us, so in the grand scheme of things, who really cares that much about bird names? And I know, granted, most people when they hear about birds, they immediately think of pigeons or seagulls, the literal flying garbage bags of many of our cities. But to be fair, there are thousands of species of wild birds enjoyed by birders and tourists alike around the world. Recently, a push has come to make the group a much more inclusive one, starting by removing vestiges of the dark colonial past marring modern ornithology. The group Bird Names for Birds has submitted multiple inquiries to remove all eponymous names, that is, bird names that are honorific or in name of an actual person's name, from the modern ornithology vernacular. While at face value these may seem like a ridiculous issue, these vestiges are again reminders of the old colonial past that mar scientific innovation. Take, for example, John James Audubon, the person notable for being the only person notable for making a career in bird painting. Two birds bear his name, the Audubon's shearwater and the Audubon's oriole. However, it is documented that he removed the head of dead Mexican soldiers from a battlefield in Texas in order to send them to scientist Samuel George Morton, who was one of the forefounders of the study of phrenology, an old debunked pseudoscience that based racial superiority on cranial size of different individuals. Man, white people were really grasping for straws on that one, weren't they? However, pushback has come from some members of the community who say that changing all the eponymous names will be too difficult a shift in its entirety for the community to handle, as if they already knew all of them off the top of their head anyways. But also, there has been recent precedent to be said about how some of these names can be changed. A proposal was made to the American Ornithological Society in 2018 in order to change the name of McCowan's longspur, a bird that bears the name of a prominent Confederate general, into something that is a non-eponymous name. It wasn't until 2019 that the AOS changed their naming standards to include verbiage such as present-day social standards as a reason to be able to change a species name. And finally, it wasn't until August of 2020 that I can report that the McCowan's longspur finally got to have its name changed to the thick-bill longspur. And let me tell you, when I look at that, I think that's a much more fitting name. I mean, look at that tick bill. But on a more serious note, while you may not find this issue specifically to be the most important, it is a part of a much larger and much more encompassing issue. Science does not exist in a vacuum, and we have to deal with the ramifications of the colonial system that has embedded itself into every single part of our society, bird names included. Now, by no means am I saying ignore science. Please, for the love of God, listen to experts more. I should know. I am one. I think this quote from the petition to the AOS naming service actually perfectly sums up how I feel about this issue. All races and ethnicities should be able to research and study any bird in the future without feeling excluded, uncomfortable, or shamed by having to hear or say any bird's name. Thanks y'all, it's been great, and I will be back soon making more content, so like, subscribe, and check in the future. It's been all for now, thanks.